All right, Aquarius, let's get down to your rage. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. And we're going to do your October's message, like your main message. What is Aquarius's main message for the month of October? Also, just know that it doesn't necessarily have to be your message. It could be somebody else's. Or what you can do is you can revolve. I said revolve. You can reverse the energies. All right. A lot of times our stories do not fully resonate because it could be somebody else's story that is around you that you're consistently hearing about, or maybe just an energy. Or you can check your other placements. Sometimes they're underneath our other placements. I did link it, like the chart, where you can find like your chart. I put it in the comment, so make sure to read the comment attached to this video. All right, Aquarius, what do you need to know for this month? You're letting go of somebody here that friend zoned you, or that you were in a platonic relationship with. But I feel like it was just friends. All right, you got the friend zone. You may have friend zoned somebody here, Aquarius. Or it was a one-sided situation. Okay, somebody here had more feelings than the other, which is okay. Sometimes that happens. But let's just make sure that we're being open and honest with our feelings when we are around people. So that way it doesn't hurt you in the long run so far as feeling bad, or the other person feeling bad. All right? That's why situationships never really work out for me, or just like hooking up with just friends, because it just seems like I do truly believe in that we should be friends with people first before we are in a relationship. However, sometimes it doesn't always work out. If you do want a relationship, you do have to speak on it. But listen, you may have friend zone them, okay? And you're letting go of, like, maybe you were friend zoned, Aquarius. Possibly. But I'm seeing here it could be, roles could be reversed. You're letting go of like a grudge that you were holding towards somebody, I feel. And it may have been both of you that decided to friend zone each other. Put it where it fits. However, don't manifest it. But you're forgiving yourself and you're forgiving others so far as like people that treated you bad, or just you felt resentment towards them because they possibly friend zoned you, or just situations that never worked out, like situationships. Self-care Sunday. I feel like, listen, it is the beginning of the month, okay? These past few Sundays, though, since it hit October, I feel like you've really been doing self-care Sunday, which is when you recharge and you basically prioritize your rest and just focus on healing. And sometimes healing, it doesn't necessarily mean you got to be journaling. It just means that you're just kicking your feet up. Possibly you're watching movies that you haven't seen in a while, or maybe you're catching up on your latest dramas or shows. Okay, somebody here likes shows. Okay, I'm seeing here Friends. I don't know if you used to watch Friends, the show, but if not, I see here somebody does like Friends, but if not, you watching like old TV shows, possibly from when you was a kid, or maybe just like the shows that they have on like Tubi. Tubi be having old TV shows on there. And I feel like somebody here is really watching like old movies or TV shows that you used to watch when you was younger. What else for my Aquariuses? You're learning to break cycles. And what I mean by saying that, I mean by karmic cycles, karmic lessons, okay? It may have taken you some time in order for you to realize that you have to break these cycles because they're repetitive. You might be meeting the same person, the same spirit in a different body, okay? And a lot of times that's because we're not breaking certain patterns or cycles. I see here somebody has been meeting the same spirit in a different body. And listen, that can definitely be true. Let me tell you, it could definitely be true with that saying, okay? But I see here, because you are starting to break new cycles, You're stepping into like a new beginning, okay? A new adventure. That sounds like my Aquariuses for sure. Okay. Let's bring up Tarot. What else does my Aquariuses need to know for October? Spirit, what do they need to know? What does my Aquariuses need to know for the month of October? What do they need to know? What do they need to know for the month of October? I feel like Aquarius, you have been dealing with like your own personal battles, okay? And you may have felt like you may feel like at this point as you are breaking cycles and like stepping into a new beginning that you don't know, you have no idea how your goals are going to turn out. You have no idea. Okay? You have no idea. But I do see here that it's because you're not using your intuition when it comes to what can I change about myself or what can I do to better myself? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I allowing people to like, oh my God, the police, get a life and drive by already? Okay. You may have been feeling like you were stuck, and you may still feel like you're stuck, but as you are stepping out and as you're breaking cycles, I need you to realize that you may come across unexpected delays as you are stepping into alignment. And a lot of times when we are being challenged by the Most High or our ancestors and spirit guides, but specifically spirit, we might come across delays as we're going, so that way we can see if we're ready for the next step in our life. Okay, you might come across some drama. I see here in October. You might be dealing with a Queen of Swords. You have a Queen of Swords, specifically a Virgo or Libra, a water sign or air sign that is in your energy. That this is somebody here that's very bitter. All right. And I don't know if you're like talking to them or this is somebody just like that I feel like this is somebody here that you friend zone possibly. And I feel like they're not very happy because you're deciding to go your own way with the Hierophant in the reverse. You're going against the grain in regards to how you view life and what you should be doing. Okay? You're starting to feel like you're able to think for yourself. You're able to move and do things that you were never able to possibly do. You're straying away from people that are going to make you feel like you have a limited belief system because they're not seeing the bigger picture in regards to what you truly believe in or want. Okay? With the Page of Wands, you also have here somebody wants to create conflict. All right? There's a fire sign and earth sign as well. This is a masculine energy that might come off. They have limited beliefs. So this is somebody here that wants you to also have limited beliefs as well. This person lacks direction. This might be somebody here that is a friend or a family member closer to you possibly, that they're going through their own shit, personal shit, that they want you stuck in a limited belief system or just feeling very limited, like you're not able to create. I'm seeing here, create your own abundance. Create your own life path. Your own life path. I have to say life path again because you are the creator of your own world, Aquarius. You do not need people to think for yourself or to have you committed in some type of delusion of whatever they believe in. Which I'm not calling other people's delusion, like their beliefs, delusional, but everybody should be able to have their own beliefs without somebody being up their ass about whatever. Right? And I feel like that might be a challenge that you are either just coming out of and the energy's still just lit. Or this is something that's going to occur this month that's really just gonna like push you into opening up a brand new cycle and letting go of people that really just seem not to be on the same level as you. Not even like y'all can make the same amount of money, y'all can work at the same job, but what I'm saying here is that you're tired of people saying shit to you. I see here that it's like comments. Somebody here is making silly comments to you because your belief system is starting to change and you're starting to have a mind of your own. I also feel like somebody here is possibly just being judged by having their own beliefs. Their own. And it could be the silliest fucking thing on this earth. But maybe you were religious at one point in time or just believed in one thing. But something here is changing, Aquarius. I actually really like it. I like it because we're all different in our own way. And there's nothing wrong with being different. You're seeing a new perspective and you're letting go with the hangman in the reverse. Alright? You're seeing new things differently. And you're like taking a step back and actually looking at yourself, possibly for one of the first times. And I don't mean like that to be rude or silly, but I feel like over the summertime or maybe just this year, something happened here where you may have been possibly like not looking at things like from other point of views, or just like being open to getting to know certain things other than your own mindset. But I see here you're looking at life differently, where now when you walk outside, you're actually looking at the sun, you're actually looking at the stars, you're questioning, all right, well, why do we even have this? Why do we even have like you're asking, you're tapping into like somebody here is stepping out of the matrix. We can never fully step out of the matrix, but one person, you're starting to realize that somebody here is tapping into having a foot in the material world and a foot in the spiritual world. Okay? And you're trying to even it out as much as possible. That's the best way that I could put it. We are a part of the matrix because we live here. However, somebody here is also, justice came in the off center. All right, the energy is kind of off. Now, I feel like it truly came in like this, flat like this, because I truly believe, Aquarius, that you will be getting some type of justice on possibly the silly things and remarks that people have been saying to you, the judgmental shit that people have been thinking towards you. And just like, you have no choice but to stray away from people because they're not accepting you at this time, it feels. You're not being accepted for who you want to be. And I don't care how old you are. You could be a mature, older Aquarius or a younger Aquarius. Doesn't matter. But somewhere down the line, depending on your commitment to self, how you deal with people this month, and the challenge that's going to be thrown at you for being judged, it depends on the justice for people. That's why it came out. Because what's fair is fair, right? So it's cause and effect. How you put out to this world is what you should get back. How you treat others is how you would get back. So if you have people here that you friend zone, or where maybe you're friends with them, it could be family that's been judging you harshly in regards to something particular. Breaking cycles, change. Depending on how you treat and not snap out and just be level-headed. It all depends on just like what your justice will be. and how those people will be treated by the Most High or ancestors or spirit. Okay? You're going to be very confident, I see here, though, with your decision on what you're deciding to do. Okay? I see here somebody here is being very confident in the change that they're trying to make. You are trying to break a cycle. Okay? And if anybody gets in the way of that, I see here we have the Alchemy Ancestors Guides. If anybody comes in with any silly energy while you're doing this, your ancestors here, the ones that really have back, or that maybe that dealt with alchemy in the past lifetimes, or in the realms, they're going to be handling these people. Okay? But you got to do your part so far as healing, and you got to do your part so far as continuing to break the cycle and having your self-worth and loving yourself. Just being very confident. What else for my Aquariuses? I got a similar message. Listen, I have a lot of messages that are coming in and just like really verifying and like confirming a lot of shit that my read said before. And Aquarius, I'm gonna link. I feel like this is a confirmation that something is going to be happening, or you're already going through this, and so I'm gonna link it to this video. Be careful over illusions over the month of October, because I feel like here you're gonna have a lot of people here that projected towards you in the past, saying you're this, you're that, it's you. No, fuck them. These people, they need to look themselves in the mirror. Actually, you see that they need to look at themselves in the mirror, because these are people here that have issues themselves, that are still wanting to stay in silly cycles. Okay, these are projectors. Don't allow the illusions to get you this month. That is my that's my personal just an eye out. Okay, that's going to be my feedback, is don't let people from your past confuse you of who you are. Okay, at this time you might be receiving a lot of dreams and a lot of downloads at this time, and it's not to scare you. Spirit wants you to know it's not to scare you. It's because you might possibly be having a lot of downloads through your sleep. You might be astraling at this time. Somebody here is astral projecting. Okay? Pay attention to your dreams right now. Okay? Because I see that they could be very significant at this time as you are walking and walking in your truth, Aquarius. Walking in your truth and speaking your truth. Okay? Continue being great. Don't let anybody here let you in your way as you're trying to walk a different path. Because these are people here that still need to work on themselves. And who are they to judge you for who you're becoming and want to become? Okay? Fuck them. Why do these people have a problem towards Aquarius? Now you know how I am. I'm going to figure it out. Why do people have an issue with Aquarius and the way that they're changing and trying to break cycles? I need a bigger table, guys. My table's so small. And I want to knock all the cards down, so I'm trying to shuffle appropriately. Okay. Why these people have a problem with Aquarius? This is somebody here that you were once with, or you were with them, and then you had to friend zone them. Couple. Okay? Or maybe you're looking at, maybe your type is changing. That does happen over time. Sometimes the people that we were once connected to or are connected to, you're looking at people differently. Even if it is your spouse, and you realize that you might not be attracted to them anymore. Okay? That's not going to be for everyone, but I see here that it's going to be towards somebody here. That you may not, your type might not be the same. And that's okay, because as you're growing, your type is going to change. Your perspective is going to shift. We had man-made disaster come out. Listen, I feel like you listen. Just be careful. Also, Aquarius. It's just something else. A side note. That be careful what you're viewing. Somebody here is online all the time, okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as you are stepping out and viewing life differently, meaning 1 foot in the spiritual and 1 foot in the material, you need to make sure that you're being careful what you see on TV, because not everything is going to be real. A lot of AI generated bullshit. Somebody here is on TikTok or Facebook and you're scrolling, and you have to be careful of what you are viewing online, because not all of it is going to be realistic and real of what you're viewing. So just be careful with that. We have mail here. I feel like this came out because you might have a lot of male energy, like masculine energy around you at this time that want to date you, because you got dating here. And I don't care, you could be masculine or feminine here, doesn't matter. But even if you are masculine, you have other masculines here that want to date you. Or if you're a feminine, you have males that want to date you here. And they're looking to put a ring on it because you have family. Somebody here wants a family with you, and it might be somebody here that you was once with, but I see here that your type is starting to change. And I feel like, yeah, these people want to marry you. There's a lot of suitors right now that want to marry you, or just like I see here, just a lot of people that have crushes on you. But you need to make sure that you're using your intuition when dealing with people, especially this month, Aquarius, because I feel like here you might be stepping into the dating world, releasing people, but people mind control. Listen, as you are stepping into this new cycle, people like AI, even AI, the robots, and people that we see every day, our co-workers, our friends, our family, they're going to try to mind control people like us all day, every day. But continue to have your own mind, okay? Your own mind. So that way you can't be easily controlled and easily a victim of falling underneath an illusion, okay? Because somebody here has been dealing with people that have been putting an illusion over their eyeballs. But listen, break the fucking cycle already. Break it. I am now like on this thing where we are breaking shitty, toxic, karmic cycles, and I've always been a karmic like cycle breaker. I just fell off when my mom passed away. But now I'm getting back into this fucking shit where it's like, all right, done, cut off. Yup. Aquarius, continue being great this month. You might come across a few challenges where you will be tested by spirit to see if you're ready to handle and succeed and go towards your goals. And at the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Knight of Swords. That's one of your cards. You're going to be defending your belief system this month coming up, possibly. And I can't wait, because we need more people to start defending their beliefs and like really tapping into source and just being themselves. Okay? Let's get a shadow message for my Aquariuses. For Aquarius, what is their shadow message for this month? Depression. You may be somebody here that dealt with PTSD or depression over the years, or even since childhood. You may have dealt with something that was very traumatic. Grief. Possibly grief. This too shall pass. Every storm brings a rainbow. This is from feeling despair, sadness, hopelessness. I feel like a lot of your shadows came from feeling depressed because you may have had people here in your life that may have just been the cause of your depression or you feeling a certain type of way. And it may have taken you some time to realize that, Aquarius. It may have taken you a lot of time, like a lot, for you to realize and take a step back and observe and actually realize that some people are just not meant for you, even if it is your own family. Some people like you feeling depressed. Some people like you feeling sad and hopeless and helpless. They thrive on that shit. But I see here, this is still like a shadow that you are still overcoming and working on. We all have shadows that we have, like, that we're still healing. We're never going to fully like integrate with, like, we're never going to fully heal from each shadow. But I do see here that you are working on yourself and you are starting to admit to a lot of things that caused your depression or happened in the past that even if your own parents did to you. All right? A lot of times our parents need to know when they fucked up and why, and ask questions why, because I feel like a lot of us, we do not hold their parents accountable for a lot of things that they have done to us. When they know wholeheartedly that they are the reason why some of us are the way that we are. But you are a grown person, possibly. I don't think I'm dealing with a child here because I have a restriction on my page. You're grown enough to know that you, at this point, if you are a grown adult, to know that you are required to deal with your own healing. Our parents or whoever hurt us is not required to be that fixer. You have to be your own fixer when it comes to your own shadows. So I just wanted to put that one out there. You guys needed that shadow message for sure. I love you guys and happy October. Please like and subscribe or comment on my video if it does resonate or if you just like the content. Peace out.